Hi, Emmanuel. Thanks for coming to meet with me today. Can you tell me a little bit about what's been going on since I talked with you last?
Yeah, I'm just having some anxiety about being outside and feeling like people staring at me everywhere I go, staring at my kids, and just I don't want to be around people, but I do. But then I feel like I can't handle, like people looking at me, and it just makes me, like I don't know. I feel like suicidal and stuff. It's not good.
When did your anxiety related to going outside start for you?
Mm, I've had issues for a while, but I think over the years, as I've gained weight and things like that,
Okay, so
it's made
you
it difficult for me.
you think that people are judging you because of your weight?
Yeah, how I look and
So when you go outside and somebody looks at you, what's the first thing that you think?
like, why are they doing that? Like, why can't they just stay focused on what they're doing? Why do they have to be paying attention to what I'm doing? Why can't they mind their own business?
Do you ever think that potentially people are looking at you and thinking good things? Like, wow,
No, not really, because no, it just I don't know how to explain that, but
So,
that's not what I think at all.
okay, let me ask you this. When you go outside and you're walking down the street and you see a father with his children and you look at them, what do you think?
Not much. It's just a man with his family.
So, what makes you think that somebody's not looking at you walking down the street with your kids and thinking, oh, that's just a guy walking down the street with his kids?
So I'm not just a guy walking with my kids. You know, an obese man with, like overweight children, and I just can't. I can't handle the way people look at me and my family.
So they're deep rooted feelings that.
And I want to correct everyone that does it. And
Okay, so if somebody looks at you and you go up to them and correct them and say, "Don't look at me like that," what if they said to you, "Sir, I was just looking at you and admiring you or admiring your kids and you have beautiful children." Would you automatically just go to a place where it was just all negative? Like, no, he's not thinking anything nice about me. Could you even give it any thought that maybe he is just being kind?
maybe, but rarely that's the case. People will say whatever they want when they get confronted in a situation if they're uncomfortable.
You've had that experience before, I'm assuming.
Mhm.
I have you ever heard of this saying, just because you think something doesn't mean it's true?
Yes, I've heard that.
Sometimes we get caught up in what we're going through and we kind of get these distorted thoughts and emotions because we're so used to things going so badly that we can not possibly make room for something going well to go well. And so our minds automatically go to a really negative headspace. So let's just kind of do a little exercise. Okay, so we're walking down the street. Just think about if you're walking down the street and I look at you. Your brain wants to say, well, why the heck is she looking at me? Does she think I'm fat? Does she think this? Does she, and it's a spiral out of control. What if, and in that very moment, you thought, okay, maybe I'm wrong about this person. this individual person. You know, I'm not saying that everyone is nice. I'm not saying that people don't judge for wrong reasons. But this particular woman walking down the street, what if that person is nice and is genuinely happy to see you walking with your kids? Do you think that's possible?
Yeah.
So then why don't you, I want you to try, and the next time you're walking down the street, I want you to think about the fact that out of maybe 10 people you walk by, 8 of them are thinking nice things about you. We have to get into a habit of thinking a different way. If you want to get out of the rabbit hole that you're in, you're gonna have to. It's a work in progress. You are a work in progress. Do you think that maybe you're stuck in thinking that everybody's out to get you, or that nobody cares about you?
Not that everyone's out to get me, but really that just no one cares. No one gives a damn.
What exactly makes you think that?
From what people said, people's actions. You know, when you find yourself alone, when you're going through the hardest times in your life.
Yeah. I can understand that. But have there been people that have been there for you?
Very few. And it hasn't been consistent. It's kind of they're there sometimes, and then they're not there, and then they're there.
Has that been a pattern throughout your whole life?
Yes, I have to agree with that.
Can you tell me a little bit about the things that you've struggled with? I would say maybe in the past couple of years. Specifically, I guess, anxiety. Has it gotten worse, would you say?
Anxiety, stress, like just anger, and sadness, despair. Just, you know, feeling worthy of something, you know, just self-worth, like my identity and who I am as a man. It's just everything. Just kind of feel like it's falling apart these past few years.
Well, cause, you know, so you talk about anxiety, fear, worthlessness, despair, you know, all of those things. And the interesting thing is that all of those feelings are connected. You know, you have anger and fear, and a lot of times those are directly correlated to anxiety. Because if you're anxious about something, your body wants to either fight it or run away from it. If you want to fight it, you can put that mask of anger on and just rush in head on. But that doesn't give you a clear thinking space. If you get the fear, you want to curl into a ball and not go anywhere. And from our past conversations, I understand that you have kind of started this habit of staying inside.
It's not really, it's like it's a habit that started, it's just something that slowly over time happened. And
because it's like you have these things that you think are truths, like everyone that is looking at me is thinking negatively about me, and everyone must be judging my size or my weight and my children's weight. And those are the things that are keeping you back.
yeah.
But you deserve happiness. And I want you to know, as long as you're sitting down to meet with me, I will never tell you what to do. And you are just as much, you have just as much say in these sessions as I do. We're a team. But I think it's important for us to put the things that you're struggling with on the table and really try and look at them holistically, kind of outside of yourself. Like, say if the same scenario played out for me. Like, say if you looked at me and said, and I told you, you know, I am too fat and I walk down the street and nobody wants to talk to me. But you knew me for me and you knew that wasn't the case. What would you say to me?
I would tell you that wasn't true. And, you know, do my best to, you know, help you believe that it's not. And I guess, I don't know.
So I think kind of moving forward, we'll just go through piece by piece, the kind of things that you want to work on. I think it sounds like mainly if we could at least get you outside, because, you know, you enjoy working out and all that, right?
I did at one time.
You know, that's part of who you are, and if you can get back to doing those things, it's going to help make you feel whole again. You know, and the anxiety that's crippling you, I really believe that you can overcome it. But you have to be willing to think about the things that you're thinking and understand that they might be a little distorted because of everything you've been through. It's not that you're wrong. But you just have to give yourself a little bit of compassion. Well, I think maybe we'll end here, but we'll continue at our next session, and I appreciate you meeting with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.